Fast, powerful, flexible.
Acer Chromebook Spin. Take it for a,
Yeah, we know.
Hi, I'm Sharielle Smith, Editor-in-Chief of Laptop Mag, and welcome to our first ever Laptop Live. Laptop Live is a celebration of the things that make our laptops go. Chips, and no, not Doritos, not Fritos, not Tostitos. We're talking CPUs and GPUs. And who better than to talk about chips than with AMD, who has been on the rise, not only in desktop space, but the mobile space. I am joined by an esteemed guest that I am so excited to talk to about the state of AMD and the future.
Hi, and this is Jason Banta. I run AMD's OEM PC business and look forward to talking more about what we're doing in the notebook space, as well as all of our other segments. So thank you for having me on, Sheree.
Thank you for being with us. Let's just jump right into it. AMD has been making a lot of news with the announcement of the latest chips, more specifically the Ryzen 7000 series. What really gets me excited about this is that you're saying that the company is saying that you'll be going after everyday users. So what does that mean? Who does that target?
Yeah, so we recently brought a new set of products out. It's part of our 7000 series. We did the 7000 desktop last month, and we also brought out some 7000 series products in the mobile space. This was basically our 7020 class of products, and those address more of a mainstream notebook user. Mm-hmm. And it's a part of the market that really hasn't been served as well as some of the premium space that you've seen in the last few years. With everything going on as far as energy costs and inflation and everything going on in the world right now, there is a really strong need for a more affordable mainstream product in the notebook space. When somebody goes and buys a notebook in that space, we don't want that to be an extreme sacrifice of performance or capability. So what we did is we brought our Zen 2 architecture, one of our very high-end CPU core lines, as well as our RDNA 2 graphics product line. We brought that together in a mainstream product, bringing all the latest video capabilities, collaboration capabilities, productivity, brought that into mainstream notebooks, not just the premium space, so more people can really access that performance that people know from the Ryzen brand. So it's a pretty big move for us to get into those price points in the market today.
Absolutely. And I know that with the current state of the economy, a lot of consumers will appreciate that. Something that I've been privy to is using the Advantage software. Can we talk a little bit about that? How will AMD utilize the Advantage software and solutions to further set itself apart from the competition, but also can you give just a baseline of what AMD Advantage is?
Absolutely. The Advantage solutions, programs, software, it's really a combination of things, and it's something that is very unique to AMD. It's something we feel really only we can do. And we have the CPU, we have the processor, and we also have the graphics capability between our Ryzen and our Radeon lines. And being able to everybody being in the same room, being able to talk about those technologies brings first of all brings tech like Smart Shift, being able to share power back and forth between the CPU GPU in a much more seamless way. There's software optimization we're able to put in place because it's not some other company's GPU or some other company's CPU having to cross qualify that late in the process. From the ground up, when we design these products and when we qualify them and develop them, we're able to do that together as a team. And by optimizing in that way, by building hardware that allows these two technologies to talk together better, we're able to bring some much more interesting experiences, whether that's lower power, whether that's higher performance. There's a lot of that the Advantage experience is meant to represent. And so we've seen some early successes with that. A number of platforms from different OEMs bringing those Advantage technologies to bear. We're getting great feedback from gamers, from our from our main audience that loves Ryzen and loves Radeon, they really love to see it together and see what it can enable.
So we can definitely expect to see more Advantage Edition laptops, because I've had the pleasure of reviewing the Alienware M17 R5 Advantage Edition, and it did really well during our testing. And I really want to see more of those systems and get them out into the hands of the consumer.
Yeah, so first of all, that's an awesome system. That's one of my favorites. We we worked very closely with with the Dell team and across the Ryzen and Radeon teams to make that notebook really great. We are expecting to see a lot more Advantage notebooks in market. We're as we've grown our portfolio in the CPU space, we've grown our portfolio in the Radeon space, particularly in notebooks. We're seeing more opportunities to bring those Advantage solutions to bear. So our as a percentage basis and as a total number, expect those Advantage systems to grow into 23 and as well as into 24.
Amazing. And like we've seen some of your competitors move into other platforms, but AMD has staunchly stayed dedicated to gaming. How will that dedication translate into pushing mobile gaming forward?
Well, we don't want to be just gaming. We're we're looking into all kinds of segments. I talked about the mainstream segment before. We're very, very passionate about business users, business notebooks, professional notebooks. That commercial space is a place we're growing as well. Ultra thins, very passionate about that space as people are more mobile now, and using portable notebooks to need longer battery life, etc. Very passionate about that. But you're right, the gaming space has been a bit bread and butter for us. We've got a strong brand there. We've got a strong audience. People, gamers love Ryzen. They love Radeon. So we've invested a lot in that. If you look at it, just look at our business on a market share basis, that the gaming notebook space is a market we've done very, very well in the past couple of years and seen a lot of growth. So we've invested there, and we've really tried to understand that audience, what they care about, because it's changing. It was before, it was just, hey, just give me the best performance. I want to replace a desktop. I don't care if the fans are always going and all these other things. But now you're seeing notebooks where people want to use this as an everyday notebook, but they also want to know that it can game. And so we're seeing different types of experiences, different types of needs as this evolves. So we're listening to end users who give us feedback on all sorts of channels. They give us feedback directly. They email us directly. We got the Team Red. We've got the Twitter, Reddit, etc. We get a lot of feedback from gamers. And we listen to that and bring that into our products, but also the OEMs get a lot of feedback from gamers as well. And so we're trying to take all that feedback and continue investing in that gaming space and making that better. And it's all those things. It's the gaming performance, it's the multi-use, being able to use it as an everyday system, and then it's the portability as well. So the gaming space is an area we're going to keep investing. We expect to keep growing there, but all those other segments, mainstream, commercial, ultra thin, growing there as well, and putting quite a bit of focus on those segments also.
Like, I definitely would love to see more AMD in the commercial space, particularly with the battery life that we've been seeing in the systems that we've been reviewing, particularly in the gaming systems. Time and time again, AMD powered systems are getting longer battery life. So I think that will really translate well to a business laptop, the mobile professionals that need to burn the midnight oil, so to speak.
It's I would say probably the one of the strongest reasons to go AMD right now in a commercial notebook is battery life. There's a time where that wasn't as much of our strength, but as we've refined our architecture, as we found new ways to reduce power, great technology partnerships, we've been able to get that power down and get that battery life extended. And now pretty much in any system where we're going head to head with the competition, we've got longer battery life. And that's via, external folks testing our systems. That's our internal analysis, and that's even, as we work with big companies that qualify our solutions versus the competition in the commercial space, they consistently see longer battery life on Ryzen-based and AMD-based systems. So as we as we continue to expand in the commercial space, that battery life is it's a big factor. And in fact, when we survey most commercial users, the number one reason they pick one notebook over the other is battery life. So we're going to continue investing there as we move from 7 nanometer to 6 nanometer to 5 nanometer, 4 nanometer. As we keep going into more and more advanced technologies, we're going to see that battery life improve and the architecture improve. And so we're going to keep investing in that space and make sure battery life is a strong part of our story as a Ryzen brand.
That's amazing to hear. As a gamer, I definitely want my games to look as good as possible. What's the next step in making photorealistic graphics the norm in mobile gaming systems?
So we've got a number of technologies we're investing in there. So first of all, ray tracing is on the rise. We're seeing that implemented in more and more games. We discussed coming up, we've got a Radeon launch coming up in November. We're going to talk about a new set of products and just how we invest more into into ray tracing technology. So that's going to be a key place we invest. But we've also got technologies, upscaling technologies such as Fidelity FX Super Resolution, which even with a game, if a game is developed in a specific way, it's running at a resolution, we're able to upscale that resolution to a higher res on a specific set of hardware and show a much more finely detailed, much more photorealistic game. So the combination of what we're doing from a ray tracing perspective built into the hardware, additional graphics horsepower, being able to increase that resolution, and then software and solutions like Fidelity FX Super Resolution being able to upscale. You combine those technologies, and we're getting to a much more photorealistic set of games in the market today.
So laptops, like they're changing. We've got your typical clamshell, you've got your 2-in-1, you've got your detachable. Now we're getting into foldables and dual screens and who knows what else. What does AMD envision the future of laptops to look like?
So we're investing in all sorts of form factors right now with our partners. It's a place we don't want to just have the OEMs pursue that space. We want to invest with them and pursue these technologies, and some of them are going to work, some of them are not going to work, but that's part of experimentation in the market. And you see foldable screens, you see all types of new things coming out. So we're going to continue investing there. Our position is to be at the forefront of those types of those form factor, industrial design changes going on in the market. We want to be at the forefront of those, and we have because of where we sit in the PC, being the CPU and the GPU provider, those are key components. And so whether it's thermal considerations or whether it's the way the system's architected, we play a very big role in that. So we want to think about those industrial design changes, how the screens are changing, how the other peripherals and components are changing. We want to think about those as we design our products and as we co-design with OEMs. So over the course of the next year, we've got some very interesting, unique industrial designs that are going to be coming out. Some stuff we'll talk about at CES, and so we're leaning into that more. It was previously you saw AMD was in some fairly consistent more of the clamshell and convertible style designs, but now more of those cutting edge avant-garde type form factors. You're going to see AMD in more of those going forward.
That's awesome. I love early adopter system. They set the bar for everything else that comes in the industry. Speaking of which, so without giving anything away, what's been the most exciting thing you've worked on this year in terms of mobile gaming, if you are free to disclose, of course?
So we're in our in our quiet period, and there's only so much I can talk about. But in the gaming space, we've invested quite a bit into like I said, into some newer form factors. And one of the things we've really been excited about is the ultra thin space. So what you can see, you've seen quite a few designs come out. The thinner and lighter form factors in the gaming space have presented some unique challenges for us, because what we've had to do is get more creative into how our solutions in real time adjust power and performance. We've got just an amazing and large team that is able to design those profiles and just develop that adaptation to how a gamer uses their system. And so you mentioned it earlier in the discussion. A lot of those ultra thin gaming systems are get very, very long battery life, and that's not something people expected from that segment. So you mentioned the Alienware line, ROG line, Legion, Omen. Every single one of these product lines, the Razer product line, all these product lines are getting into thinner and thinner form factors. And we're partnering with those customers to make sure that you get that really long battery life, those great acoustics, the fan's not blowing all the time. So those thinner and lighter form factors that we brought with our Ryzen 6000 product line earlier this year, it's our codename Rembrandt product. Those thinner and lighter gaming systems really push the envelope as far as combining battery life along with gaming performance. There's just a lot of creativity with our engineering team alongside the OEM to deliver those experiences.
That pretty much wraps up my questions, but I always close my interviews out with this question. What should I have asked? What is something that my viewers, my readers absolutely need to know and take away from this interview?
I think the biggest thing that I would want to know about AMD is, is it continuing to invest in content creation and design and these newer segments, these newer use cases that are becoming very, very popular in PCs. You know us for gaming, us for commercial notebooks, but content creation designs and these content creation use cases, are we investing there? And the answer is absolutely yes. Whether that's partnerships with Microsoft, partnerships with Adobe, partnerships with application companies in this space. Are we leaning into that? And the answer is absolutely. That's a place we're investing heavily. And we're seeing more people use the PC for more. People are using the PC as a design device. They're using it to express themselves creatively. That was something you see in handsets and in tablets, but you're seeing that more and more in the PC space as well. Particularly in kind of a sort of a post-pandemic mindset, you're seeing a lot of investment in that space. So it's a place we're leaning into quite a bit. And you're going to see more gaming systems. You're going to see more commercial systems. But next, you're going to see a lot more content creation-oriented systems. And that's a place you're going to see grow as we head into 23. So it's something I want to talk about more when we get into it and talk specifics about designs and customers. But it is a place we're going to keep investing.
Well, I definitely want to touch base with you when you are prepared to talk about that. The Laptop Mag audience is always thirsty for that type of information. With that stated, this concludes our interview. I am Cherie L. Smith here for Laptop Mag, and this is our first ever Laptop Live. For more chip news, chip coverage, features, and of course, laptops, tablets, VR headsets, and headphones, oh my, stay tuned.